Hey everyone, Jen Comer here. A couple of people have asked me to make a video showing my foundation routine in the morning, and so that's what I wanted to show you today. I use 4 products. I use our Glorious Face and Eye Primer. This stuff is amazing. It fills your pores and it gives you a nice porcelain finish and really sets your makeup for the day. So if you use this, it's going to enhance your pigment colors, it's going to make your foundation stay put. And I didn't use a primer before starting with Younique, but this is probably one of my new favorite products, and I find myself forgetting it once in a while. So, and I definitely notice on those days when I forget it. And then the other products that I use is our BB Flawless, and I use a couple of shades because I do highlight and contour. If I'm in a hurry, I'll just do like a Bisque is my all over color, and then I'll do a little bit of cream highlight like under my eyes and down my nose. And I don't always do the contouring with the BB cream, but for like full face night out type of thing, I do that, and I apply that with our blending buds, which I'll show you. And then I top it off with our mineral touch powder because I prefer a matte finish. If you prefer more of a dewy finish, you can just use the BB Flawless, and that'll give you that look. And then because it's summer and who doesn't like to have a little bit of a tan, I do a little bit of contouring and just kind of get that all over sun-kissed look with our Beach Foot bronzer, and I use Hermosa. So I'm going to go and kind of demonstrate real quickly, well maybe not quickly, but show you how I put my face on. So you take the primer and you just use a little dab. I'm still learning like what's the perfect amount, but I've got just a little bit on my finger. And then rub it together and put it everywhere. And this is, because it's primer, you can put it up by your eyes. I like that because it makes my eyeshadow stay on. I feel like it makes my eyeliner stay on, even though our eyeliners don't go anywhere. Makes my eyebrows stay on, and it just really, and it makes your skin feel so soft and smooth. And then if you have extra, which I've got my hair in a nasty bun today, but I run it through my hair because it helps smooth that out too. So onto the BB cream. I prefer to do the lighter color first, and I have our brushes, and I've used our brushes, but right now, just kind of for the sake of time, I prefer to just kind of blot it on with my fingers, and then I blend with the BB, with the blending buds. So I've just got, not a bunch, a little bit, and then I like to go here, and it looks like a lot, but once you get it blended in, it's really not that much. And then underneath, and not the half moons I've seen a lot of people do. I prefer the triangles because you really want to bring attention to the center of your face. And then I go right down my nose, and I do a little bit here. And like if you've got a larger forehead, you're going to want to make this top part smaller, and then here and here. And then if I've got extra, I put a little bit there. So my husband always laughs because I'm like putting on my warm makeup. And so then you take the darker color, which I go 2 shades darker than Bisque, so I have Honey. Yeah, Honey. And I do the same thing. I put it on with my fingers, and then I'm going to blend it with the buds. So I go like along my hairline. I guess in my hairline. Under your cheekbones. And like I said, this is more of my everyday. If I wanted a more dramatic look, I would probably put more. I put it under my chin, under my nose. And I didn't get quite enough to finish all the places. So let's get a little bit more. I go along the side of my nose. And this helps shape your nose. And here. Alright, so hopefully you guys can see it's starting to take shape. And you know, ideally you want to make your cheekbones more pronounced, and you want to focus on your eyes. So we've got our little blending buds. There's 2, there's a large one and a smaller one. And then before you start using them, you want to run them under the water and towel dry them. And so I just have a damp towel so I can get these a little bit wet. And then I like to take the pointy end and you just pat it and it starts to fill in. And I don't normally put the foundation on my eyes just because I don't want it to take away from the pigment colors. So you kind of see up the nose. And I'm no pro. I mean, I just learned how to do this in the last couple of weeks. You can already kind of see it's starting to define that. And when I get out of the sunlight, we'll see how dramatic it looks. And then along each cheekbone. And I just like the smaller end just because I'm hitting smaller areas. And if it's not perfectly blended, that's okay because that's what we're going to do with the bigger one. So I take the fat end of the purple and I start at my hairline and I come down. Because you're kind of blending the light and the dark together here. And I blend my nose. You can kind of see that the nose is a little more defined. I love the BB cream because I have a lot of redness on my nose and I've noticed that that's gone. And then I've got some blemishes down here. And you want to go, that you know, they disappear. So you go right along your, under your cheekbone. Make it stick out. So you can see it's kind of narrowed the face. And then I just prefer to kind of all over pat it. And you're not pushing hard, you're just kind of like smoothing it out. But I feel like with these buds, I'm not wasting makeup either. Like if I'm in a really hurry and I just want to throw in some powder, I'll just grab my bud from the day before and there's usually enough on it and I just kind of touch up under my eyes. So, alright. So, that is my quick highlight and contour with the creams. And then my next step is I grab our touch powder. Now I like to keep with the highlight and contour effect, so I take a lighter shade. This is organza, and I take our blusher brush, and I use our blusher brush for like 3 things in the morning when I'm doing my makeup. I just tap it in there, and I go over the same areas that I did the lighter color. Here and here, a little bit there. Okay, and then I take the powder brush, and this is where you'll see my lack of professional makeup skills. I just tap it in, and I just go all over with this kind of patting method, and then that way I feel like I'm getting coverage, I'm not wasting makeup. It's also doing that final kind of blend at the same time. And then I kind of brush just to make sure everything is smooth and perfect. And don't neglect down here, because who hates that line where you forget to blend, right? So that is my foundation routine. Oh, and I forgot. I also throw on the bronzer because it's summer and I'm pasty and I like to look like I've been out in the sun. So we've got our bronzer, which I love. It's got a lighter shade and then a darker shade, and I've actually seen folks who they do the whole highlight and contour with just the bronzer, which is awesome. You can use the primer and a bronzer and be out the door in like 2 minutes. But because I'm gonna just do the contouring, I kind of take my brush and I tap it like in the middle of the 2 colors so I get both, and then kind of on my under my cheekbones and then around my hairline. So you can, and that is again re-emphasizing where I'd put the darker color. Up here. Alright. And then on my chin, my nose, and then along my jawline, just to kind of define. and blending down again. So that is my foundation routine. So if you guys have any questions, if you want any help picking out colors or shades of the BB cream or the powder or the bronzer or anything like that, message me and I will be more than happy to help you guys out. So thanks and have a great day.